Well, let's go to Arizona. John Brakey and Ray Lutz are with us. What's going on, John and Ray?
Well, quickly is that they started back up today counting, and that's good news. I just put a document out through Citizens Oversight that explains how these 3 recounts that media keeps reporting really weren't, and trying to get people to understand that this is a necessary process to unhinge people. I was hoping that Steve Rosenfeld, I saw him here earlier, I guess he's gone. He put a tremendous article out because there was a study done by a person I know who proved that 75,000 Republicans in between Maricopa County and Pima, most of them in Maricopa, 59,000 people, voted for the 2 top parts of the ticket, which was for Biden and for Kelly, and then voted Republican after that because this gentleman got the cast vote record files and then gave them to Larry Moore of Clear Ballot, and he had one of his employees and run it. And so, that's good news. It's proving that everything is going to really add up. And but what's really important, I believe, is that Ray Lutz gets this contract and he runs them. There'll be 3 counts. The original one from election night, the hand count audit, which is somewhat flawed because it's human beings. They're not matching batches. But the third one, I think, is going to really lay out the case. And then maybe we might find problems in other places. So other than that, read what I put out on Ray's site, Citizens Oversight, about these 3 audits. And I want to turn it over to my good friend and champion, Ray Lutz.
Before you do, I do want to ask if either of you has come across any of those chickens that ate the ballots. And did the ballots they eat, did they have bamboo in them?
No, not the case. And, we brought ate the paper. So I guess it just never happened or whatever, to add a little bit of comic sense to this whole thing. But, it is serious business what's happening in Maricopa. It's all going to add up, and it's going to help people get ungaslighted. I'm glad that people on this show were talking about media and their responsibility to getting the facts right. Sometimes you put a 2-minute clip out, they cut off the last 30 seconds to explain that you don't believe any of it, and all of a sudden they shoot the messenger, which happened with me. And I'm still glad it happened. It gave me a good place to jump out and fight back and explain. And this week I'm planning to do a lot of that. And so, okay, Ray, there you go.
And Ray, John has mentioned a contract that you are up to get. Can you tell us about this and what's happening there?
Thank you very much. Yeah, we are seeing them restart. So this contract, from the beginning, I was asking them to do a ballot image audit because I think it's the way that we can review all of the contests and then go back and look at some of the paper and confirm that the ballot images are match up without doing them all. And instead they decided to do this full hand count. They really don't need to do that much work. And so that's the contract. So what happened is that they asked me to define it in a statement of work. We put it out as a Google Doc with our people that we meet now it's Thursday at noon on a Zoom call, and you're welcome. Anyone here is welcome to attend while we go over this in detail. We went over that. We had people help edit it. Then we sent that to them and they said, yeah, okay. And then now their attorneys have gone over it and basically deleted most of it, which was disexplanatory, so that it can be a public document. There is one thing that kind of may be a very, very big breakthrough, is that there's some impetus now to make all the ballot images public documents which are disclosable in Arizona. And that would be a great big plus if that's the result of this whole thing that we see going on. What I've seen though is, I actually went there, and as I've said in other earlier meetings here, I think they're not doing everything right, but they're doing a lot right. And so I think it's a little bit unfair to say that it's a complete clown show. I do know now that the original audit that was done by Maricopa County was absolutely, insufficient to show anything. And what you hear in the media is that they did not find any fraud. If you don't look very hard, you're not going to find anything. And they found no discrepancies whatsoever. They picked the batches ahead of time, marked the boxes that were going to be audited, and then all the rest of them are open season. So and even this recent article on Raw Story by Stephen Rosenfeld, that was a pretty interesting one. But that's going to be used as fodder to the mill to say, look, what he was saying in there, if you haven't read it, is that the there were a lot of Republicans who voted in in 6 or more Republican races for the Republicans, but did not vote for Trump. And that sounds reasonable to me. A lot of people didn't like Trump, okay, that were Republicans. It seems like but other people such as Shiva and others have used that same thing to say, hey, well, that's proof that the tabulation was fixed. These people would have logically voted for Trump, but we don't actually know that. So it can be used either way. It doesn't actually prove that wasn't done. Also, they said that they had paired up or looked at the voters and didn't see any massive influx of ballots, no bamboo ballots coming in, or at least not a big influx of ballots as they theorized in 4 a.m. There was some new influx, and as I looked at it, that didn't make any real sense, because I looked at the idea that a lot of the later vote by mail ballots would be processed at that point, and that's when they would see a big increase in Biden votes, because they would finally be getting those final vote by mail ballots coming in. So that's kind of the status right now. They have edited that contract. The contract is, because we have to, in the ballot image audit, we use computers pretty heavily. So it costs money to do it. And it's a lot of work. This is 2.1 million. It's the second largest district in the nation. It's a big job. And so with the computer time that we're needing, we have the price set to 50K, which is about 2 cents a ballot, and some other fees. The Senate would be paying $5,000 according to what they want to do. And then someone else is going to donate the 45, they say. Not going to be
private donation.
Evaluated that, and it's not somebody that we're worried about.
They're soliciting a private donation to pay for a public audit?
Absolutely. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We survive only on private donations. So money is money. And if you want to give us the 45K and get it done, we'll take it from you. What do you propose?
Well, I'm sure the Trump organization will be happy to fund your ballot audits, since they're the ones who've been claiming there's been fraud.
The people who are paying for this.
No, I'm not taking money from the Trump organization. Let's just wait a second. No, Harvey, we're not taking money from the Trump organization to do this. Okay. So don't start that as an attack mode here. We're trying to get this. Look, we're trying to get this done so that we can repair the situation in Arizona. You know who I am. I'm not going to take money from the Trump organization. Don't make that accusation.
Oh, I was kidding. Go ahead, John Brakey.
We're both serious. We're both not Trumpers, but we do believe in reaching out to the right and helping them understand that they shouldn't believe some crazy conspiracy theories. And, 74% of the Republicans, I believe, in this country believe that there was something wrong in this election. That's 4 out of, that's quite a few people. And if we care about the 2022 election, let's unharden these people and let them understand that maybe they were gained by a clown in an orange face and another guy named Pulitzer who just made up craziness. That's where I got hammered. I was exposing him, and they left off 30 seconds, and then they called me the bamboo guy for a little while. But the New York Times, a lot of these papers have straightened this all out and put it on the record. But it is important what could happen out of this, because the Senate is trying to pass a bill to make ballot images a public record. I know that several of our members on this group were working with Ken Bennett and others to find the language, and we went through different states to find things. Thank you, Paul Burke and other people who helped us put this thing together, because ultimately the salvation of this audit will be the Ray Lutz audit, because it will put it to bed. It's married to the images. There could be a ballot library and a whole system that comes out of here that hopefully other states will follow. Truly, elections are not any good unless they're transparent, trackable, and publicly verified. And we have the technology with digital. Now we just got to force them to put the inkjets back into those high-speed scanners and marry the vote by mail ballot to the ballot image, and then thus have a library to verify that people can verify after they do their own audit at their own house.
Let me make clear, Ray, I was definitely kidding when I mentioned Trump, and
No, but
I don't think he has enough money, frankly, to pay that bill.
This is not a big ticket item for this state to do. Certainly, the Senate could do it.
Absolutely.
But then the question is, should we take the money from the Senate? I mean, no matter who you talk to, should we be funded just by the Senate?
I think you should. I think it should be public money. That's why I was concerned. To me, the idea of private money is very troublesome. I think it should be public money. But that's another whole other discussion.
I disagree with that, because the people who are paying for this are the people. Why should the taxpayer come up and spend $4 or $5 million? That's what this thing is costing. Okay, the Senate paid $150,000. I think they rented the building, and which is expensive, and then some money for security. But a lot of this was privately raised. And now we got 3 counts going to happen. We got the original. We got a hand count audit, which is a hand count audit. It's not going to be that good. There's not adjudicated ballots there. Ray will be doing the images, what's the machine counted. I think after that right there, I think a lot of people are going to walk away satisfied. And the ones who aren't, well, you can't convince everybody. But can we whittle down that 70-some million people down to 60 million, maybe 50 million? Hey, once they realize that they were fooled, maybe they'll not vote for the same people who fooled them. Who knows?
Won't be fooled again. That's a great song. We're down to the end here. I want to thank Mike Hirsch and Steve Caruso for engineering the call. Joel Siegel, my co-convener. It's good to see Bob Fitrakis